Here's a brutal truth most older men never realize until it's too late. Women have been hitting on you for years and you had no idea. You think you're invisible past your prime, or not on a younger woman's radar. Meanwhile, she's right in front of you, basically waving a green light, and you walk straight past it. She tests, she hints, she opens doors, and you, being a polite, disciplined man, assume it's nothing. In this video, I'm going to show you the one core question women use when they're secretly hitting on you, plus the subtle signs wrapped around it that 97% of older men completely miss. Once you see it, you'll realize how many chances you've already walked away from. This is Stoic Reflection, female psychology, attraction, and self-mastery for men who refuse to live on autopilot. Let's start with why you miss it. As men get older, many of them overcorrect. You become more respectful, calmer, and more controlled around women. You don't want to be creepy. You don't want to be that guy who misreads everything. You don't want to embarrass yourself, so you play it safe. You stay in the polite, distant, harmless zone. That sounds mature, and in many ways it is, but there's a hidden cost because you're so focused on not crossing any line. You also stop seeing when a woman is clearly inviting you to step closer to it. You don't assume she likes you. You assume she's just nice, polite, or friendly, so every signal she sends gets filed under one word in your mind: nothing. From a Stoic angle, perception is everything. If you label every interaction as nothing, you will act like everything is nothing. She gives you an opening. You call it small talk. You walk away. The opportunity didn't disappear. Your perception killed it. Women know this about men, especially older men. They know that if they walked up and said, "Hey, I like you, take my number," a lot of guys would freeze, doubt them, or sabotage the moment. So they rarely do that. Instead, they wrap their interest inside something that looks completely innocent and normal. A simple question. Here's where the secret starts. The way it usually shows up is through one personal question that has nothing to do with the situation you're in. Most often it's some version of, "Are you married?" That's the core question. That's the doorway. Everything else is just a variation of it. You're at the gym, wiping down a machine, and she asks, "So are you married?" You're at a coffee shop waiting for your order, and she says, "Do you live around here?" You're at a social event, and she leans in and asks, "So what do you usually do on weekends?" On the surface, these questions sound basic, almost boring. Underneath, they're loaded. Are you married? Is her checking if she's even allowed to flirt? Do you live around here? Is her imagining how easily your lives could overlap? What do you usually do on weekends? Is her quietly wondering if she could be part of that? A woman who isn't interested keeps things short and practical. Is anyone sitting here? Do you know what time this starts? Where's the restroom? She gets her answer and moves on. But a woman who's curious about you as a man uses questions to open a door without making herself vulnerable. She's not gathering information for a survey. She's looking for one thing. Is there a connection here? Or, am I wasting my time? For older men, this is especially important. You're quicker to assume a younger woman is just being respectful or polite. You tell yourself she's just making conversation, or she's just friendly. And sometimes that's true. Not every personal question means attraction, but here's where most men fail. They dismiss every personal question as nothing, and in doing so, they shut down the possibility of something before it even begins. So how do you tell when this innocent-sounding question is actually a sign of real interest? Look at what comes after. If she asks one personal question, then another, she's not just filling silence, she's feeling you out. She asks if you're married, then she asks what you do, then she asks what you enjoy, then she laughs at your answers and offers her own stories. Slowly, she's building a bridge between your world and hers. That's not random, that's intentional. Listen to how she reacts to your answers. If you say you're single and her eyes light up, her shoulders relax, she leans in a little more, or she playfully teases you about it. That's a signal. If you say you usually spend weekends alone, and she says, really, you don't go out much, with a little smile. She's not just making an observation, she's opening the door to the idea that maybe you should. Now here's where most men fail the test. She says, do you live around here? And you respond, yeah. Then look away. She says, are you married? And you mumble, no, and immediately change the subject. She gives you an opening, and you shut it down with the emotional energy of a cardboard box. The result, conversation over. Door closed, signal ignored. Not because she wasn't interested, but because you killed the momentum. A stoic, grounded man behaves differently. He doesn't walk around assuming every woman is in love with him, but he also doesn't walk around assuming he's invisible. He's present, he notices. He's willing to play the game lightly, without desperation and without fear. So when she asks, do you live around here? He doesn't just say yes and go silent. He smiles and says, yeah, not too far. What about you? That simple return question keeps the energy moving. It tells her you're open to conversation if she keeps talking, if she asks more. If she stays engaged when she could have walked away, you now have a pretty clear answer. This is more than random small talk. Let me give you a line you can literally steal. If she asks, are you married? You don't need to panic or explain your whole life story. You can calmly say, no, I've managed to escape so far. What about you? Said with a relaxed smile. That one line does three things. It tells her you're available. It shows you have a sense of humor, and it throws the ball right back into her court. If she's interested, she'll pick it up happily and keep playing. Another reason women use questions instead of direct statements is protection. She's protecting her reputation and her ego. She doesn't want to look too forward or too easy, especially with an older man. And she doesn't want to be crushed if you're not interested. So she chooses the safest strategy. She asks questions that give her an escape. If you respond coldly or shut it down, she can instantly pretend she was just being friendly. But if you respond warmly and confidently, she can slowly turn that small talk into something charged with attraction. Remember, the question itself is not the whole signal. It's the pattern around it. A personal question. Then follow up. Curiosity, genuine attention to your answers, light, teasing smiles, eye contact that lingers a little longer than normal, body language that leans toward you instead of away. All of these combined are how many women hit on older men without ever saying, I like you. So what do you do with this knowledge? First, stop automatically disqualifying yourself just because you're older, divorced, heartbroken, or have had long stretches of loneliness. That doesn't mean you're out of the game. Many younger women are drawn to older men precisely because of their maturity, calmness, and life experience. But none of that matters if you refuse to even see when they're interested. Second, train yourself to stay present in conversations. Put your phone away. Stop mentally checking out when a woman asks you a personal question that feels slightly out of place about your relationship status, how you spend your weekends, where you live, your lifestyle. Don't answer on autopilot. Notice it. Ask yourself, why this question? Why now? You don't need to obsess over it, but you should be awake enough to see that something might be happening. Third, practice responding in a way that matches the energy she's giving you. If she's playful, be lightly playful back. If she's curious, be a little more open rather than shutting down. You're not promising marriage, you're not committing to anything. You're simply allowing a human connection to unfold and seeing where it goes. If you sense that she's interested, you can gently escalate the conversation. Share a bit more about yourself. Tease her lightly. Hold eye contact a little longer. If the vibe feels right, you can say something simple, like we should continue this over coffee sometime, and see how she responds. No drama, no begging, just a calm, grounded invitation. This is where self-mastery comes in. Most men without control over their mind live at the extremes. Either, no woman could ever want me, or every woman wants me. Both are delusions. The Stoic path is in the middle. You assume nothing, but you stay aware. You observe. You respond. You move with intention, instead of fear. The next time a woman asks you a personal question that seems to come out of nowhere, pause internally and recognize what might be happening. She may not be asking about your weekend just to kill time. She may be asking because she's quietly wondering if she could be part of it. When a woman takes the effort to ask personal, curious questions and stays in the conversation when she could easily walk away, understand what that usually means. She's interested in you as a man, not just as another body in the room. Don't respond with fear. Don't shut down. Don't sell yourself short. Be confident, be grounded, be playful, and let yourself be seen. You've already missed enough signals in your life. You don't need to keep living like you're unwanted while women are literally testing the waters right in front of you. If this opened your eyes, don't just keep it to yourself. That's why Stoic Reflection exists, to help you understand female psychology, build real confidence, and master yourself in dating and relationships. Hit that like button, subscribe to Stoic Reflection, and send this to a friend who keeps saying, "Women never flirt with me," while they're flirting right in front of him. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.